Hello, hello, hello. Well, it happened again. So it is currently, what is today? Today is Thursday, and it is 7:22 a.m. and I am filming Wednesday's vlog because I slept all night long. I know whenever I do this, it always confuses a few of you. You're like, wait a second, you're filming Thursday's vlog? Yes, I'm filming Thursday's vlog because I fell asleep last night and didn't wake up till about 15 minutes ago. And I was leaving and I said to my husband, I said, I have to go vlog. I slept all through the night. And he goes, but are you rested? He's still in bed with the dogs. And I said, no, not really. I could be getting a little bit more sleep. But it stormed all through the night, and Boo Radley was like crawling all over me. He always gets very, very scared when it storms. And in the middle of the night, and he makes this, like, he'll crawl on me and like to wake me up, he goes, "Arr." And so like in the middle of the night, I could like feel him on my chest, and he was like, "Arr." So I woke up and I was like holding him, and I was like, it's all right, Boo Radley, it's all right, it's just a storm, honey. But he was scared. I brought some water with me. Oh my gosh, it's out of focus. What is going on? There, it's back in focus. So, let's see. Let me tell you about my day yesterday. Oh, let me tell you about my day today. Yesterday. So confusing. I'm so confused. It's the most confusing vlog in the entire world. You guys get it at this point, don't you? Let's see. Yesterday was Wednesday. I got up and I went and got some coffee. I'm trying to think of how the day went yesterday. I went and got some coffee. I'm having to like play it back in my head. And, like, Alex came home from work. Does the rain sound pretty? It's gonna be a pretty day though, I can tell. Like in the distance it's starting to like brighten up. Life of me cannot even really remember what I did yesterday. Oh, I went and I ran a bunch of errands, and after I got my coffee, I did this review on my review channel. Well, Alex and I did it when he came home from work, and it was of the orange vanilla Coke and the Sprite limonade, whatever it's called. And so I bought those, and then I went to Meijer. I can't remember. I had to buy like a calendar book at Meijer so I could put all my appointments in there, because like I have a hair appointment today, and like, because I'm old school like that. I don't use my phone for that stuff. I like to use I like to have like a calendar book and have in there like Easter, Caroline's Sunday, 4 p.m. You know what I mean? And yeah, I just did some stupid errands like that. And then I came back and then I filmed videos. I filmed videos for all of my channels except for my BookTube channel. And then what else did I do? Then Alex came home and we filmed the review video, and then I got that done, and then we were trying to decide whether or not we were going to go out to eat, or he had his leftovers, and we didn't know if I was going to like just go to the store and get something and then he could eat his leftovers, or we were going to go out to eat. And we decided I was just going to go to the store. So before I left, because he wanted some stuff from the store too, so I picked him up some stuff from the store. But before I left, we sat down and I ordered my Octavia food. So I am doing Octavia. And because so many people had asked questions about it, like when Alex did it, I'm just gonna talk about it through the whole process of me doing it. So I ordered my first month supply. It's called 5-in-1. And what you do is, the whole idea is that you apparently get your body into fat burn. And so you eat like every 2.5 to 3 hours from the time that you get up. And like Alex set alarms like for every 2.5 to 3 hours, and then he would just eat at that time. And it's like bars and shakes, and they have like some little mixed meals that are like, they have like a macaroni and cheese, and then they have like two different kinds of mashed potatoes, this like pasta thing, and but anyway, those are like your 5-in-1, and then like your 6th meal for the day is like, it's like your choice, and you can have like a small piece of like chicken, or like green, like some kind of greens. And like Alex was saying to me, like you could go and eat, well obviously I won't be eating chicken because I'm a vegetarian, but he was like, you know, you could go to like, I was like, how am I gonna go out to dinner if we go out to dinner with people and stuff? He's like, well, you can go and like you could have like your Impossible Burger like from Cheesecake Factory, but you just wouldn't like eat it on a bun, and you wouldn't have like, you would eat it protein style, which is because like whenever we go places, Alex always gets a cheeseburger, but he gets a protein style like between 2 pieces of lettuce. And he was like, you just wouldn't eat it on a bun, you wouldn't eat it with any mayonnaise, you wouldn't get any fries or ranch dressing or any of that kind of stuff. And which this will be real interesting, so I don't know. It's gonna, that part I think is gonna be hard for me. I'm just gonna have to probably not go out to eat a whole lot at first until I kind of get used to it, because Alex was like, the first 2 weeks are really, really important for you to like stay in fat burn. So yeah, so I went through, and there's different kinds of like, there's like 3 different kinds that you can, of programs that you can buy. And the one that I did was like the complete thing. There was 2. There was the main one that's like 5-in-1, and then there was like 5-in-1 on the go, and then there was like 42 and 2 or something, and it was like extra boxes, and it was more. And I just did the main one because that's the one that Alex did. So I got to pick 17 boxes. I was so excited. I was like, I get to pick 17 boxes of things that I want. And those are like my meals that would be like the 5-in-1s. And they're like, I mean, it's not a whole lot different than any other kind of like diet like system. It's like different kinds of shakes. And it was so funny because like Alex was like sitting there with me. I was like going through it. There's a billboard for the lemonade that I did yesterday. The billboard looks a lot prettier than it tastes. But he was like, oh, these chocolate drizzle bars are my favorite. And then there's like brownie that comes in like a little cup that you like mix up with water. He's like, that's everybody's favorite. Everybody loves it. I'm like, this is so funny. But anyway, it came to $356, which is like almost $12 a day. It's like $11.80 a day to do it. So, yeah, we'll see. That was like the hard part for me, was the paying for it. And it takes 5 to 7 days to get here, so whenever it gets here is when I will be starting it. Like literally, if it comes on a Tuesday, I'm gonna start it on a Wednesday. So I'm excited about that. And it's actually, I'm starting it at a really good time because I'm going over to Caroline's for Easter on Sunday, so I'm not gonna wanna eat like super healthy on Easter. But I mean, there's probably not gonna be a lot that I can eat that day anyway, because I'm sure she'll have like ham and whatever. So I'll probably, you know, like eat mashed potatoes or something like that. The ones I got of like the main food, I got 2 different kinds of mashed potatoes. I got like sour cream and chive mashed potatoes, garlic mashed potatoes. I got the pasta. I did not get the macaroni and cheese because Alex said it wasn't great. I got like 3 different kinds of shakes. I got some kind of smoothie. I got like 4 different kinds of bars. They had like pancakes, and stuff. I did not get those. They had like these muffins for breakfast. I did not get those. I got oatmeal because I like oatmeal. What else do they have? They have all kinds of things. Alex said the bars are really good, but a lot of these programs have those bars. You know, I know like the Atkins diet has those, and I think Nutrisystem has those. It's similar to Nutrisystem, I think, but I'm excited about it. So it'll come next week, which kind of coincides with my working, going to the trainer twice a week. So yeah, so I did that, and then I went to Meijer to get the stuff that we wanted for dinner and whatever. Well, I got him some more hummus and peanuts, and then I got myself like hummus and cheese for dinner, and I picked up a little pasta salad. And then I talked to Mel too on the way there, because we were trying to pick what book we're gonna read for our May book. And Mel was suggesting some books that were like women serial killers, because, you know, it's Mother's Day, which I thought was a great idea. But she recommended a book by Eileen Wuornos. Now, if you guys don't know, I am probably like the #1 formative expert on Eileen Wuornos. Not really, but I have like seen so many things about Eileen Wuornos. I've seen interviews and talk show discussions and all of the documentaries on Netflix and Monster and on and on and on. I've read so much about Eileen Wuornos. I just like, I'm kind of like weirdly obsessed with that case. I think Eileen Wuornos is a product of mental health issues as well as society. And there's I don't feel bad for her, like for what she did, but there's part of me that thinks it could have turned out differently. When you start watching a lot about her, she was kind of neglected by everybody, which doesn't make what she did right. But so anyway, apparently she wrote a book called Dear Dawn. I didn't know that. As a formative expert, I didn't know that she wrote a book called Dear Dawn, but Mel found that out. So we were looking into that book, but it's not available on all platforms. So we have to make sure it's available on all platforms, because that's one of the things that we said we were going to do for the book club. And then I like pulled up a picture and showed her, and it looks real cheesy. What is going on with it? It just keeps on bouncing up and down whenever I look over here. It looks like the cover looks real cheesy, so I don't think we're gonna do that book. But I would like to read it to find out more. And I was like, Dawn. I said, Dawn's somebody like important in her story. I don't know why I can't remember who Dawn is. And I was like, is Dawn like the woman that like adopted her? Or she was like, I don't know who it is. And so I sat there and I like looked it up while we were sitting there, and Dawn's her childhood friend that if you watch the second documentary on Netflix, which I think it's called The Selling of a Serial Killer, Dawn is her friend that is like, this thing is driving me nuts today, which I'm sure if it's driving me nuts, it's driving you guys nuts. Dawn is her friend that is in a huge part of the second documentary about her. She's the one that arranges her funeral and stuff, like at the very end. And like takes, like if you like watch the part where they go like into Eileen Wuornos' neighborhood. This is the world's greatest vlog today, because now it's out of focus again. What is going on today? Come on. It's magic. Should I just turn it off? I don't really want to. I'm just gonna turn it off. Okay, there, that's better. What, has it been doing that the whole day? I'm sorry, you guys. I have a hair appointment at 11:15 this morning. So I'm not going to make this super long anyway. Because I want to get home and... well, I don't want to go back to bed, because if I go back to bed, I'm afraid that I won't get up. Especially on like rainy days like this. Because I need to leave at like 10:30 to make sure that I get there in time. I am so over this camera today. There, that's better. So, I'm really excited about the Octavia thing. So yeah, so then I went and I got the food. I talked to Mel on the phone. We have no idea. We're gonna like reconvene today and talk about, I told her to pick 3 ideas for, or 3 books and come up with 3 ideas for the book club, and I would come up with 3 ideas, and then we would reconvene today and pick out what the May book is. So if you're in the book club and you're wondering why we haven't picked the book yet, it will be probably announced today or tomorrow. The problem is partly that, like, when I was Googling, like, best true crime books, the majority of the best true crime books are really not, like, serial killer books. They're other books. They're, like, about true crime, and, you know, and mostly in our country, in the United States, but they're true crime, but they're not, like, and we wanted to read some serial killer books. And a lot of people, like, in the Goodreads thread really want to do that. Although, I will say Columbine has been a fantastic choice, which was Mel's choice. I've just been blown away reading this book. So, I don't know. I mean, there's a couple options that we have that are kind of, like, not like that. Like I told her, I said, you know, we could read, I said, I've read it before and seen the movie, but we could read Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil. There's a couple different options like that. Monster in Florence, I think, is an option like that. So, I don't know. I was looking at some different books. There's Killer Clown, that's about John Wayne Gacy. The Night Stalker, about Richard Ramirez. Son of Sam. There aren't, like, great books about, like, Jeffrey Dahmer and Ed Gein, who she wants to read about Ed Gein. Which, when we took a poll to see who people wanted to read about, Ed Gein's the one that they based Silence, or that Thomas Harris based Silence of the Lambs on. There's not great, what do you call it? There just aren't great books. I mean, there aren't books out there like The Zodiac Killer, like, has, like, this huge book about, you know, the Zodiac Killer, or Son of Sam, or, I'm trying to think of another, like Helter Skelter about Charles Manson. They're like the other ones, they just don't have, like, there'll be, like, smaller ones that look like the bottom row at the grocery store, but they're not, like, there's not great, you know, books that are well researched or written like that. And I don't want to just pick something that's, like, cheesy random, you know what I mean? And the other thing is that when I was, like, looking through what are, like, the best true crime books to read, like Helter Skelter, which I'm going to do a long read this summer for anybody that wants to read. I've decided that Mel's already read it, and she doesn't want to read it again because it took her like 3 months to read, but I've decided that I'm going to do like a long read of it. So like June, July, and August, it's going to be like a secondary book in the book club. So anybody that wants to read Helter Skelter can read that, you know, as part of the book club. It's not going to just be the main book, it's going to be like the other book that we read too. But Helter Skelter, in Cold Blood, The Stranger Beside Me by Anne Rule, and I'll Be Gone in the Dark by Michelle McNamara. Those are like the 4 like #1 books, like on most of the lists, that are like the best true crime serial killer books. And what's interesting about that is that we'll have read all of those 4 books, Which my whole goal of this book club was that by the end of the year, which I think we have 8 months left to pick books, I want to read The Good Nurse too. That's like, and then I mentioned this, I showed this book to Mel last night called The Lost Girls. By the end of the year, I want, like, for people that have participated, and myself and Mel, to be able to walk away and say, like, oh, well, we've read, like, the formative books on true crime, you know? So I don't know, maybe we should just go through there, and this is, like, the best of true crime. The thing is, there's, like, one book that's about something of Osage, the flowers of Osage County, or something like that. And it's about these, like, oil miners in Oklahoma, like in the 20s, that were being killed. And it's the start of the FBI, and all these people are being killed, and it's like the FBI looks into it. It may end up being real interesting, I don't know. That's like one of the #1 books that gets recommended a lot. But, like, see, I don't have a lot of interest in reading about that. So, I don't know. Do you remember when spring break was always around Easter? Am I crazy for thinking that? Like, I'm pretty sure that spring break was always around Easter when I was growing up as a kid. But it seems to me like that would be really late in the year. Because Tanya said, I mean, I always ask her when spring break is, because she knows all the spring breaks, like college and high school and everything like that. She said spring break is over. And what is today, the 18th? I think today's the 18th. Yeah, the 18th. So if spring break is over and it's the 18th, and... oh, do you know what today is, you guys? Oh my God! I got so sad about this. Well, happy and sad, but I got so sad about this. Today is PB's birthday, the 18th. Little PP, he's 13 years old. I can't think about this right now, and this is probably a good reason that I'm doing this in the morning when I'm like, I've just woken up. What is that? Little Land Rover kind of truck thing. One of the good reasons I'm doing this in the morning instead of last night, because last night I got kind of real emotional about it. Because the doctor said, you know, that she'd like to see him make it to 13 and a half. Today's 13. I told him, I said, PP, I said, we're going to have a birthday party for you this weekend. And I said, and you can walk around in the yard as long as you want, and you can have anything you can want. You can have any of the treats you want. And we'll get you, I'm going to get him some stuffed animal babies and some all kinds of stuff. I'm going to go to the store today and get all that. And then I said, we'll have a birthday party for you this weekend and everything. And he was real excited about it. I'm not going to be very well when that, I'm not going to be well when that dog passes away. I'm just not going to be good about it. It's just not going to be good. Well, when any of my dogs do, but... I don't know why I play this out in my head, but it's kind of like Alex is not in a position where he wants to, like, if a dog would die, that we would get another dog. Like, he doesn't want to do that. Like, he wants to wait until they're all 3 gone and then possibly think about getting another dog. And he doesn't ever want to have 3 dogs again. He thinks it's a lot of work, and he just doesn't want to do that. He doesn't even really want to have 2 dogs again. He doesn't, Alex, like, because of his emotional attachment to, like, the dogs, he, and especially PP, because he's had PP for so long, he said he doesn't, like, he said he doesn't want another dog again. And I'm like, you don't want another dog? He's like, well, I think I might want another dog, but he was like, no, I don't. Like, the emotional attachment is too much. And he was like, and then, you know, like, we get so upset because something's going to happen to them and whatever. And I will always have a dog. So That's kind of like an agreement that we've come to. But I worry about, like, which one will be the last one that's left, you know? And I really believe it'll, like, for a while I was worried that it might be Boo Radley, because I think Boo Radley would just be so confused. Like, I mean, I don't know if you guys ever pick up on it on the videos or, like, when I talk about it on here, but, like, Boo Radley really, like, he doesn't comprehend. Like, he just doesn't. And, I mean, he's very, very, very simple. And, like, he just doesn't comprehend, like, at all. And, still doesn't, like, really even know his name sometimes and stuff like that. So I thought if it happened to him, like, it would be really sad, because he would, like, really have no idea what had happened. Like, he wouldn't get it, you know? But now I kind of feel like I worry, because, like, Tucker, I think, of the two, of he and Boo, is the most aware. And Tucker's also such a happy dog, you know? Like, he's just so damn happy and so cute, just running around and whatever. Like, you can tell, like PP has, like, tons of personality, obviously. Well, they all do, you know? But, like if Tucker, like, you know, gets scolded for something, you can tell that he, like, you know, or if he's happy, you can tell he's happy, you know what I mean? I think emotionally, like, he's the one that would be, like, I mean, PP was alone before Boo and Tucker, so I feel like it would be Tucker that would be the most upset, like, and not really understand what's going on. Especially, like, when we come home and stuff like that from being on vacation. He's, like, always the one that's the most excited. When I go pick them up from the kennel, he's always the one that's the most excited to see me. And I'm worried that he's going to be the one that's going to be, like, you know, I don't know. I don't like thinking about it. That's where I just want, like, time to stop. PP has been coughing, like, a lot, and, I don't know if it's, like, because it's allergy season. Like, I know I'm suffering from allergy season. Alex is suffering from allergy season. Tanya's suffering from allergy season. Everybody that I know is suffering from allergy season, because it's, like, really bad in Indianapolis right now. So, I don't know. That might be it, you know? Because Tanya said he didn't cough at all at the kennel. But he was out, he would have been outside a lot there, too. And, I don't know. Tanya wasn't also with him, like, each hour of the day, you know? The vet was like, I mean, we can move up his medicine. She was like, but once we move up his medicine, he has to stay on it, like, at that level. So we can't move it back. Which, so, this is kind of how it is, okay? So this Lasix that he's on, which is also, like, the water pill kind of thing that makes him, like, urinate a lot. We can, if the coughing is, like, horrible, like, literally, like, every half an hour, every hour, which we're not there yet. It's nothing like that. It's like, I mean, it's not all day. It's just, like, in the evenings, he'll cough, like, you know, 2 or 3 times, 3 or 4 times. And then, like, when he wakes up, he coughs. And then that's about it. Like, throughout the middle of the day, he doesn't really cough a whole lot. So, for example, she suggested that we wait until he's, like, coughing, like, pretty, like, on a regular basis. Because then that will bring it back to where we were, like, let's say 6 months ago. Okay. Because we can't continue to move it up and move it up and move it up and move it up, the medication. Like, there's going to be a point when, like, he's on the limit. And then if he's coughing, like, horribly after that on the medicine, that's when we would have to consider whether or not, like, if he was in a lot of pain, what we were going to do, you know? Because you don't want him to be in pain. And that's the other thing that's hard with dogs and, you know, cats and other animals is you can't really tell when they're in pain. I mean, like right now, PB's cough is like, and then he shakes his head and then he's done, right? And then he's like literally like right back to whatever he was doing. So if he was playing with Tucker, he's like right back to playing with Tucker. So it's like that. She said that's short compared to what it will be. I know, and like in the comment sections, I know people are, and I appreciate you guys like suggesting what you think it is and things like that, about saying that it's about candles and that it's about, you know, smells in the house and dust and things like that. But PB has heart disease, and it really has nothing to do with those things. I've asked her a lot, and she's like, and she always laughs at me when I say that. She's like, your dog has heart disease. It has nothing to do with like candle smells in the house. She was like, I'm not saying that that doesn't affect dogs. She was like, but it not when it's like heart disease. She's like, he's coughing because his heart is enlarged and it's up against his esophagus. It has nothing to do with anything else. Which is why then I'm like, okay, with the allergies, like I'm like, why am I even speculating about that? Because that's stupid, right? But then it makes me wonder why he was so okay. Like, I don't know, maybe at Tanya's he got to run around more or whatever. But like, I've been letting him run so much since he's been home. Like, I just leave the back door open and they're just like out there for like ever. I don't know, it worries me a little guy. But today's his birthday. It's PB's birthday. Happy birthday, PB. We love you very much. If you guys have watched my live stream for a long time, what you'll know is that that is Tia's song. So hi Tia, how are you? Thank you, Tia. I used to sing that song to her on my live stream. I think I might make this a shorter vlog today. I've been vlogging for like a half an hour. I think I'm gonna go up here and then turn around. So today, I have a hair appointment at 11:15, and then I'm meeting with a friend after that. Sober friend. And then I'm gonna come home, and I'm gonna film some videos. Since I'm up, I may get coffee on my way to my hair appointment. I don't know. I may get it after. And then I'm meeting up with my friend. So, and then I'm gonna make videos. I need to trim my nails. And, that's about my day. I want to go get PP a bunch of stuff. I'd like to listen to a big chunk of Columbine. I can't believe I slept all the night long. All through the night last night. Alex and I watched, when we were eating dinner last night, we watched The Real Housewives of Atlanta, the second part of the reunion. I almost can't, like, I've talked about this on here before, but like, I almost can't with like the toxicity of those shows anymore. It's so weird. Like, I can watch like a violent movie 100 times more than I can watch like that toxicity of that screaming, yelling back and forth. The only reason I did with Atlanta is just because I'm interested in that storyline, because I've watched Atlanta for so long. But like, after we got done watching Atlanta, I went upstairs, and that's when I like laid down for a little bit, which ended up being the whole night. And Alex was watching Vanderpump Rules, and if you watch Vanderpump Rules, there's this part where Katie and Tom are like in Mexico, and they're literally screaming at each other, like right when they've gotten there. And I'm like laying in bed, and I'm like, babe, can you turn that down a little bit? And he's like, yeah, sorry. And it's like they're toxic. And I think it's just like this way that people talk to each other that like, I just don't understand. Like, I just can't get behind that, just that horrible, just like toxicity of the way that people speak to each other, you know? don't have people in my life today that talk to me that way. And, you know, I'm not saying that I have been a perfect specimen of speaking to people in my life, because God knows I haven't. I mean, I have had my moments of not talking to people appropriately, but I've really worked on that in my life, you know, and have I had my moments? Yes. Is it how I speak all the time? And it hasn't ever been? No. And I don't know a lot of people that do speak like that all the time. So then it makes you wonder, is it like that just for TV? Because a lot of them talk like that, like, all the time, you know? And I'm just like, how do you live at that high level of chaos and toxicity? Like, I mean, it's not like, just like, you know, once in a blue moon. It's literally like all the time these people are talking to each other like that. And I'm sure it's for reality television. But when I was like laid in bed and Alex was watching it, it was like, blah, 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 bleep, blah, bleep, blah, 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 bleep, bleep, bleep. I mean, it was like, how do you even watch this? It's just too much. That must be how slowly over time you, like, start changing, like what you do, like, watch, or what you listen to and whatever. Because there was a day that stuff never bothered me. You know what I mean? There was a day that, like, I didn't have an issue with it at all. Didn't even notice it. Watched all the same shows as Alex did, you know? Watched all of them. Thought it was hilarious. Bad Girls Club. People screaming and yelling at each other. You know, like, all of it. Like, I thought it was funny. I think it was maybe last night, too, like, on the heels of Atlanta. Because Atlanta, it was, like, so, like, toxic last night. And, just a lot of, like, I don't know. Just, like, a lot of ugliness and anger that I think is unnecessary in the world. There's already a lot of ugliness and anger. I don't think we need to, you know, perpetuate it. Kind of reminds me of these days when I was like younger in elementary school, and I'd have to like walk to school with my like raincoat on. Do you remember those yellow raincoats? I like for real had like one of those yellow raincoats, and you would walk to school with one of those yellow raincoats on, and then throughout the whole day it would kind of like rain or not rain, rain and not rain, you know, throughout the whole day. And then you'd come home and my mom would have some kind of, it's gonna stop, hold on. My mom would have some kind of snack for me, which would be like graham crackers and frosting. The healthiest after school snack in the world. With like orange juice, or, which for me was called Tang. Do you guys remember Tang? Do they still make Tang? I was such a daydreamer in school. I can remember like just staring out windows. I was also such a huge reader at such an early age that like I would be reading a book and like I couldn't, like if the teacher would say, okay, we're gonna do this and then when you're done you can read, like I couldn't wait to rush through it just so I could get to my book. Like I just remember being in school and loving to read, and like at home, like reading, I just like feverishly read, you know? Fiendishly, feverishly read when I was a kid, and I loved it. I loved it, loved it, loved it. I'm like, as I'm telling the story, I can smell like library books. Like I can smell the smell of a library book. And I read all of these like great books when I was a kid, like Kid Power, which was about babysitting, and The Witch's Sister. There were 3. There's now 7 by Phyllis Reynolds Naylor. I have all of them. I bought them all from Thrift Books a couple years ago, and I was gonna read them all, and I keep on saying that I haven't. So maybe this summer is the year that I'm gonna do them. The John Belair's books, like The House of the Clock in Its Walls. What are the other ones that I read? Oh, the Ramona Quimsey books. Is that her name? Ramona? Anyway, Beverly Cleary just turned like 103. Mel tagged me on that on Facebook. I think it was Mel that tagged me on that on Facebook. Which is pretty cool, don't you think? Ramona Quimby? Ramona Quimby. Is that her name? I just remember her making that sign in one book because she wanted her dad to stop smoking cigarettes. And she put no smoke and then like /King, K-I-N-G, and she's holding up the signs. They used to have all of those because they did like a PBS series with those books, and they used to have them at the library, and I would go rent the VCR tapes at the library, and then I would watch them at, like, this was when I was working in treatment, and I lived in my apartment, and this would have been with my last ex, or maybe before he and I got together, I don't know. I loved those books, or those movies. I felt like they were so homey. I should look online and see if I can find those. They're great if you haven't seen them before. Oh my God, they're so good. The little girl looks just like her in there, which also she looks just like Scout from To Kill a Mockingbird. What other books did I read as a kid? So many. So many books. All right, you guys, listen, I think I'm going to get off here and make this a little bit shorter of a vlog today. And I'm going to try to vlog throughout the day today, so this definitely does not happen tomorrow. And I've been in the dark, like, on this camera for, like, the last, like, 20 minutes, and now look, like, I'm out in the sunshine. Anyway, so I'm going to get off here now. I hope you guys are having, I thought that was, like, a snake in the tree, and it was, like, looked like a trash bag or something. I hope you guys are having an amazing Thursday, unless you have other plans. And if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. And don't forget to say it to yourself in the mirror. Look at yourself in the mirror and say it. Pass it on and say it to somebody else. I think sometimes we're afraid to say those words, and they carry so much weight. And it's always interesting to me when people say in my videos, I don't hear it very often. So, for those of you that don't hear it out there, I love you. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Love ya.